Sonoff have just updated their Zigbee water valve, and at first glance it looks almost identical. But there are some pretty important upgrades under the hood, including one that should make this a lot more reliable long term. Hi, I'm James, and I've been building out my smart home for years, with products from just about every manufacturer out there, figuring out what works and what doesn't. So this is the new Sonoff Hydro 1 Zigbee smart water valve, and I've been testing it out, fitting it, pairing it with Zigbee2MQTT, and there's actually quite a lot to talk about here. Unboxing it is pretty straightforward, there's nothing too fancy, but everything you actually need is in the box. You get the valve itself, and importantly, they've included things like the gasket and PTFE tape, which honestly makes the whole install process quite a lot smoother. Fitting it was really simple. If you've ever installed anything in line with a hose or pipe before, you'll be absolutely fine here. And because they've included the extras, you're not scrambling around trying to find bits before you even get started. Now, visually, this looks almost the same as the previous version, but there is one key difference. They've added brass components this time around, which should make a big difference in terms of durability and longevity, as that's one of the main complaints with cheaper smart valves, long-term reliability. So this is a low-key but significant upgrade. Now before I started fitting it, I hit pair in Zigbee2MQTT, and it paired quickly and painlessly. And once it's connected, it exposes a lot of data and controls. You've got loads of things like the water flow, total volume used, the state of the valve itself, and a whole bunch more configuration options. And this is where it gets quite interesting because it's not just on and off control. You can actually schedule watering not just by time, but by water volume as well, which is a really nice touch, especially for irrigation setups. Now, some of these more advanced features like weather-based automation or rain prediction look like they're probably going to depend on using Sonoff's own Zigbee gateways. So if you're running something like Zigbee to MQTT like me, just be aware that you might not get everything, but there's nothing that you can't replicate within Home Assistant anyway. But it's nice to have out of the box for those running a Sonoff gateway. There's also this new proximity mode, which from what I can tell is basically Bluetooth connectivity via their app. I haven't tested this one myself, and honestly, if you're already using Zigbee, it's probably not a feature you'll care that much about, but it's another nice to have. Now, I'm not actually using this for irrigation personally. I don't have anything in my garden that needs watering, and that's very much intentional. But I still think this is a really interesting device. Being able to track exactly how much water is being used at any given time is useful all on its own. I actually really wish we'd had this device a couple of years back when we had a bath, as I'd have hooked it up to the taps somehow and had it auto run the kids' bath exactly the same every day. But perhaps more importantly than irrigation or running precise baths, you could also use this flow reading for leak detection. If it detects water flowing when you're not expecting it, you could then trigger alerts or automations. And that's where something like this really becomes genuinely quite valuable. So overall, this feels like a solid refinement rather than a complete redesign. It looks pretty much the same, installs just as easily, but crucially adds better materials, more data, and more control. And if you're already in the Sonoff ecosystem, especially for irrigation, then this is a really compelling upgrade. But even outside of that, there's definitely some compelling smart use cases that I can come up with here beyond just watering plants. If you have any questions about this or you want to see anything specific tested with this, do let me know down in the comments. And if you'd like to pick one up, the links will as always be in the description below and on my website. As always, thank you so much for watching, and as always remember, home is where the smart is.